This is the first of a series of digital security summits that HMG is launching on a global level. We realize more than ever that the security element, the security profile, your threat landscape is more important than ever. It's a boardroom issue, right? It's a CEO issue. It's truly a complete world issue now, more than ever, as nation states are taking advantage of open threat landscapes, open enterprise architectures, and such.
Moving everybody to remote and then back to the office and hybrids, and it's been incredible. And trying to maintain security, I know that's going to be a big focus topic today. Trying to keep that kind of underneath and around, and just keeping everybody safe is always of utmost importance.
Really what it boils down to is the mesh of cloud security solutions and networking solutions, whether that's cloud networking on-prem. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of technologies that are encompassed into that. But think of SASE as really a framework or a guiding light of how we can approach network and security kind of in this dispersed model that we're living in today, where we need to secure our remote workers at home. We need to support them when they're in coffee shops or when they're on-prem, and we need to be able to provide consistent policy. So really, it just goes back to that marrying of cloud security and networking solutions.
I believe that we're going to stay in at least a hybrid model in most companies, and I think that SASE, it really does kind of accelerate some of what we've already been thinking. I mean, if you're familiar with the Zscaler model, this kind of takes it to the next level and adds a lot to it. It really helps in terms of simplifying the stack. And I think it's going to really help in terms of just really being able to make sure that folks, no matter where they are secure, and that they're running through a consistent set of security tools, and that it's a simplified stack too, because I think that we do have kind of tool fatigue in this industry where, there's just too many things and too many pieces. And I think that this is going to actually help a lot in terms of simplifying the overall security stack.
Obviously, there's a lot of names in the space. Someone mentioned Zscaler earlier. That was really a secure internet gateway and firewall. But a lot of the components like cloud access security broker, that's really key, especially for people who are consumers of SaaS, have Office 365. So you can choose what your sanctioned applications are, which applications are going to be tolerated, and what you just won't tolerate because they're high risk and could cause a breach. We also have cloud firewalls, the secure internet gateways that I mentioned before, and then a lot of the new capabilities that are coming out, like remote browser isolation. So users, when they're going to a web page, they can execute that in a cloud on a sandbox machine. So you don't get any kind of that drive-by type attack that you get on some web pages through advertisings and things like that.
That we have data from a variety of sources. So from a security and NOC perspective, we're able to analyze user experience all the way down when you're home, when you're mobile, when you're in a location, and we're able to look at different segments of that user experience. And we're also looking at, from a security perspective, we're looking at data at scale. So what we've done is that we've consolidated all our data lakes, and then we're able to run algorithms against them at massive scale. Here's one of the great innovations that Palo Alto has done, including in the SASE space. 95% of all new threats, they're stopped by inline ML techniques by Palo Alto.
It's super critical that the experience for the end users not jeopardize the implementation, because if the end users refuse to use the technologies because of the friction we've induced in the processes to get them access, then we are destined to fail in that implementation. Another thing that I've seen stand in the way of these things is people holding on to the old ways, partially because of the fear of change and the perception of the friction they will introduce. But those legacy systems and organizations not being willing to let go of how we normally used to access things, of even security departments standing in the way, becoming the Department of No again, because they just can't wrap their mind around how they're going to get the visibility. And maybe it's because they're so busy they haven't had time to go to seminars like this.
We've been over the last many years in the same dilemma in the cyberspace, and especially in some of those key areas on the IT side as well. where we're seeing a significant demand and supply is of course crunched. So I would say, I've taken a couple of approaches in the past just to make sure that let's start with the retention point of view. Over the last 2 years, as we all been pivoting towards home and stuff and whatnot, I have made it very clearly that we got to do internally more to retain, which is reaching out to the staff more often, doing one-on-ones for that matter, having a personal touch, if you want to call it. That's been really helpful. I think at the end of the day, I appreciate the fact that the financials that are thrown by other organizations do play a key role, but I also think the environment that we create, it needs to be long-term. You can't just say, I'm going to certainly pay someone 25% more so to get them, and while not do anything with retention.
Stay with HMG Strategy and stay engaged and stay positive and stay focused, stay upbeat, lead on, and stay with Hunter. Take care.
For more information, please visit hmgstrategy.com and keep up to date by following us on our social media platforms. Thank you.